Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dark. We are here with a quickie, little backstage episode. You guys kind of seem like you liked the last one, so we're going to do it again. Remember, this is not really a story-focused episode. It's really more of a backstage kind of element. We're kind of going through and seeing if there are interesting elements to different wrestlers. We're talking a little bit about what our plans are and kind of going through that so you can kind of have an idea of what's going on going forward, as well as seeing some of the undercard develop as we try to play around with them and see what we can do. So we have a quick episode. We do have some booking analysis issues, mostly that some of our wrestlers are being used far too much. That's the nature of it, but we don't have any issues when it comes to the actual booking of the matches themselves. So that's good, because there's that three-wing ring circus kind of issue that we have to worry about sometimes, and we don't have to worry about that here because we have it set up. So we should be okay. That's the good part. Bad part is we definitely don't have anybody of significant note in here. I borrowed a lot of people. I'm doing some local enhancement, trying to build some people up. Trying to play around with combinations, and what we're doing in this episode is really checking out some of the people on Dark, which we've now spun off into a sister promotion, a developmental territory. We do have the Nightmare Factory as well, training some people, but you're limited to how many people you can train at any given time. So that is a bit of an element there that we have to kind of be aware of. All right, let's go ahead. Let's check out Dark Elevation and see where some of the talents are in the developmental brand here. So yeah, we expect this to do pretty poorly. Unfortunately, they're both considered jobbers, so this is probably what hurt us a lot. We're trying to build up Kylie Ray, and it's just not working, unfortunately. And this is a very weird match. We try to do a work the crowd match with Kylie King, see how she is developing. She's still very, very poor in the ring for us. Probably not going to be something we're going to bring up anytime soon. She only had a 26 in this match. Kylie Ray has a 43, which is truthfully low for us, but if we can build up her momentum a little bit, her popularity, we might be able to boost that a little bit. We are looking for dynamics here, and there are none. In fact, the crowd was very vocal that they were not invested in this at all. Got a very low score. We did try to work the crowd for later matches, but unfortunately not really a good match here. Kylie Ray does win in a submission. Afterwards, trying to see how her charisma pays off, because she has a very high score for that, and does okay. Celebrates her win in front of the crowd. It gets a 48. It's not bad, but it's not going to be a needle mover. Something that we're going to have to probably keep her off TV until we can get her to develop a little bit more. But we might do that on Elevation here. But yeah, it's not great. Private Party versus 2.0. Bring Private Party back up from Dark, which they're currently in. To see how they do, and they actually do pretty well. I think we're going to bring them back up for a storyline at some point, and maybe bring 2.0 down to work in the developmental for a little bit. They're not going to really improve much, but just to kind of clean things up, we might bring them over there for us. It is a poor match, though. Private Party do defeat 2.0 in 11 minutes. Isaiah Cassidy gets the pin on Matt Lee. Mark Quinn had a 48, Isaiah Cassidy had a 54, and a 36 and a 41 for Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. It's a 48 overall. Not too bad. They're definitely a lower card tag team for us at this point, but we might be able to develop them, maybe put them in a feud with somebody, and might be able to get something out of it. We have Jade Cargill versus a local talent, Aqua, who apparently is a Booker T protege. Aqua has a very poor match, 18. Jade Cargill not doing much better, but looking like a star in comparison. Overall, this match gets a 29. Cooled the crowd down a little bit. and it had embarrassing wrestling. Jade Cargill does defeat Aqua in 7 minutes with a jaded, not great. We do want to build up Jade Cargill at some point, but her in-ring performance is very difficult for us. I think, and we'll see in the next spot here, I think if we can limit her in-ring, her actual in-ring matches, put her with somebody that can be really put her over and protect her, we might be able to get a decent feud, but she's very limited in the ring. 37. Next, we're going to test out her microphone ability, or her charisma ability, at least. I think I have Mark Sterling with her, so we'll see how that balance plays out in the game. Not well. Mark Sterling talks up Jade's prowess in this segment. Mark Sterling was very poor. He might have been the weak link in here, so we got to play around and find out for sure. So definitely something we want to take a look at later and see if maybe Jade would be better on her own on the microphone. We did screw it up and forgot to script it, so that also could have an effect, but not looking at anything here. I think Jade was set for... Jade was set as star quality, I want to say, or charisma, which she was supposed to have a very high score on. Mark Sterling was on microphone, and that results very underwhelming. We have another underwhelming segment. Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson's talking up Brock Anderson, saying he's ready for his challenge tonight in the main event. And we... what an abysmal match. Embarrassing wrestling, a little heat. Trying to build up 10 in some capacity. And I don't know. I don't know about that one. 10 out of 36, so better than Brock, but not great. We tried to play to his strengths, and it did not go very well. 10 defeats Brock in 10 minutes with a pounce. Gives us a 20. Crowd was turned off by a match. Again, we probably needed to put someone of a higher caliber and have 10 go over them, but we're kind of limited on who we have for that would do that. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of pain there. Poorly placed, wild brawl. Well, we expected the crowd to be buzzing a little bit more, and they were not. So we end the show pretty abysmally with a 33. Well, what did we learn? We learned a lot. We learned that maybe Jade Cargill might not need Mark Sterling, and maybe might be better on his own, or on her own. Sorry. We learned that Kylie Rae's not ready yet, but maybe with time, I still see potential in her performance. I mean, she did the best match of the group here. No, she didn't. She did the best angle. Private Party's probably ready to come up as a lower mid card, and I think we're ready for that. And I'm still hesitant about 10. And definitely some of the other people in our dark, Kylie King and Brock Anderson, can pretty much probably stay down in dark for now. I don't think we're going to get anything of benefit for bringing them up. So that was our dark elevation. We got a little bit of an idea. We might do a storyline, a very simple storyline going forward to try to maybe build up Kylie Rae or Jade Cargill and see if we can get them to develop on the show so we can pull them to the actual series, because I would like to do something with them. Jade Cargill seems positioned in the real world right now to win the TBS title. I don't know if we're going to introduce the TBS title in our save yet, or if at all. I'd personally rather do a women's tag title, I think, and maybe rather boost up the roster that way and develop it a little bit differently, because I don't think we have enough singles competitors that can stand on their own yet. But I definitely would not want to emulate Jade being a champion and then thus be a fighting champion, because I think we could probably make her into something eventually, but we have to heavily protect her going forward. So that definitely is a problem. Kylie Rae could be there in the future. We have to build her up, and I think we'll use Dark to do so. But the other guys here, well, Private Party probably ready to come up. Everybody else, I don't know. I don't know about that. Looking a little rough there. But that was it. That was Dark. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you like these little tiny little snippets. And if you do, let me know in the comments. We'll continue to do them. Until next time.